Golden Oldies, Angel Di Maria and Johnny Evans both signed one-year extensions at Benfica and Manchester United, respectively. Were they teammates at Manchester United? It feels like so long ago in the early Van Gaal years.
Evans had left, maybe, no?
Do you remember that? When
to go to West Brom?
Be like, oh, Di Maria, he's like Robin. Like, yeah okay, whatever. Jules, which will be more significant next season? Who's extended?
I can't believe you're asking this question.
Or will you just tell me that I shouldn't mention both names in the same sentence?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Poor Angel Di Maria to be associated with Johnny Evans. Di Maria, who, as we've said, retired from international football, is fair enough after winning everything. But still a bit more for Benfica. And I think rightly so. Johnny Evans, unless it's for some sort of like quotas or like,
coaching role?
Yeah, or coaching role or being part of the fact that he was a youth team player for the academy or for the club or something like that. I don't see the point at all of keeping him.
Do you?
Really, I don't see. Well, I don't know why United give him an extension for a year. To do
well,
what?
they're short on centre backs.
Are they? Yeah. Maguire, Lindelof.
But you don't like Maguire and Lindelof.
No, I don't. But I
assume they're hoping to move.
Play them before Johnny Evans.
I'm assuming they're going to try to move Lindelof.
Yeah, I mean, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Renato Veiga, he's the new Chelsea player. Gab, he's just 20, comes from Basel in Switzerland and costs 14 million euros. Where does he fit in? And did they really need another central midfielder at Chelsea?
Well, he's a left footer, and that's important, supposedly.
Sure.
But
Dewsbury Hall as well is left footed, by the way. I'm just saying.
He's also played left back in the past, I think, at Augsburg. Short answer, the thought, no, because you have Moises Caicedo, you've got Leslie. You've got...
Who's going to go on loan, I think, Leslie.
Sure, yeah. Oh, we spent a lot of money for him. Send him on loan, bring another one in.
No, it's true. Romo Lavia, your friend. At some point, we will see. Is he a real person?
Is he a real person? Is he a hologram?
Is he a bot?
But I think the basic strategy is to accumulate young talent and, sow and then reap. 14 million is not a lot in some ways. Yeah. In other ways... they'll probably sign him to, the usual 9-year contract.
Yeah, for sure.
With the amortization, he's cost you 2.8 million euros a year. And the only thing I would say is, I know Portugal are a good side, but I don't think he's been capped yet for Portugal.
No.
I mean, if you're Chelsea...
It's a bit of a gamble, for sure.
It is a bit of a roll of the dice,
yeah? Definitely.
Ren midfielder Désiré Doué, did I say that correctly?
Nice, very good.
Is one of the most hyped teenagers on the market. And honestly, there's YouTube clips of him that you can enjoy. And you can see what the fuss is all about.
So good.
So, who's on his trail?
Yeah, they're queuing Gabi from Bayern Munich, who've already made an offer of 35 million euros, which Rennes rejected because they want maybe 10 million more at least, maybe 15. Ideally, they would like to go to 50 million.
50 million euros? For...
I know, but of his age, he's 20. I think he's just incredible.
Okay, but Camavinga and Ryan Cherky were better than him at his age.
So Camavinga had a different profile. And yeah, even Cherky, different profile to be fair. But he has something very special. So Bayern Munich, we said, Chelsea and Spurs here in England, PSG are big fans. And I think PSG could be the one where he feels maybe staying in Ligue 1 a little bit longer, especially in a dominant team like Paris, and then go to a bigger club. Might be a good idea. So we'll have to see. But Bayern are pushing really hard to get him. I just don't know where you play him.
Because you need more wingers.
Well, no, he can play central. He can play literally as a second striker. He can play as a false 9. He can play as a 10. He can play as an 8. I think he's got really everything. He can play wide, and maybe wide is still his best position. You're right. But he's not a winger like a Nolise, for example.
No, of course. But what's interesting is you haven't mentioned that he's Paris born and bred, which makes me think he's not Paris born and bred. Otherwise, you would have told us.
I know. That's why I keep this one quiet. Simone Inzaghi has signed a 1-year contract extension at Inter through 2026. Gab, how big is this? And why not a longer extension?
So I think it is big because Simone Inzaghi has been so impressive for Inter. He's been such a great fit for the club. It gives stability, obviously, now that with Oak Tree running the club. Why not a longer extension? Well, you know what? This is a question I would love to ask to all those clubs who give 3, 4, 5-year extensions, right?
6 sometimes, yeah.
Manchester United with Ten Hag now, right?
Yeah.
the hell you need an extension, right? You want to give him an extra year? So Simone Inzaghi had a year left, blah, blah, blah. Reward him. He's won the title. He's reached the Champions League final. Fine. 2 years. You don't need to go beyond that. Why?
I agree.
When do clubs understand that there are a lot more managers than there are football clubs? And yes, if you have Pep, if you have Klopp, and they go in and say, I want the big extension, fine. They're going to be babies about it, sure. But, and any man, people say, but if it's a shorter term contract, then it undermines the authority of the manager. You know what? If you need a contract to assert your authority over a team, you are not a good manager. It's simple as. Nice. So I think Oaktree are acting like grown-ups here, and I applaud it. I wish other clubs would do the same.
Yeah.
Willy Kambwala. Like I said, you can never have enough Manchester United.
Paris born and bred, by the way, Willy Kambwala.
He's left Manchester United. Yeah. He's now at Villarreal, which is probably why they needed to sign Johnny Evans. See?
Yeah, of course.
Deal is worth 10 million euros. I think this is really good money when you consider that the poor guy's had serious injury problems, and he only had a year left on his contract.
Yeah, I think it's a really good sale by United. Really,
so can we applaud and say something good about United?
Yeah,
whether it's Jason Wilcox or Barada, we don't know.
We don't know, but
maybe it was Ratcliffe himself.
Really good. Or if Kambwala becomes the new Virgil van Dijk, then we will look at the 10 million and saying like, maybe it was not the greatest of idea to sell him. But anyway,
they don't have a buyback, do they?
No, I don't think so. They might have first refusal. Is that how you
right?
But I don't even think so. So Villarreal saw him at times last season. They liked what they saw. When he played, he had some really good games, some more difficult, but he was still young in a team that was not functioning properly. So I like him a lot. I really like him a lot, and I hope La Liga works for him.
Yeah, look, I mean, people may not know this, but when he was 16, 17, he was one of the highest rated
he was the best
young center backs in Europe. And I also think from United's perspective, if you have this uncertainty with him, in the situation you're now, in terms of flux, you either have to make a big boy decision and say he's going to be my third center back this season.
Yeah.
Or you loan him, but you can't loan him. If you can't, he's not going to extend his contract.
No.
You don't want to...
1 year left, yeah.
You can't commit to a long-term contract unless you're sure, because we've seen United make this mistake with players in the past.
That's very true.
I think they definitely made the right decision here, and they got good money for him.
I agree. A Spanish court has ruled against Barcelona, in their legal dispute with Nike. Gab, what does this mean?
In the here and now, simply put, as I understand it, it means that there's no way Joan Laporta can wiggle out of the Nike deal, assuming he was ever going to do that.
Yeah, because he wanted to market his own shirt, basically, right?
He said, he pointed out, he spoke publicly saying that there were all these flaws. He wasn't happy with the money they were getting from Nike. He wasn't happy with some of the distribution and stuff like that. My understanding is, Nike said, well, we can sit down and talk about it, but, we're not renegotiating to some stupid number.
Yeah.
He put pressure on them saying, apparently, reportedly, he tried to bring other apparel manufacturers into the mix. He even said, we can make our own shirts.
Yeah.
Court said basically, this is one lever you're not pulling. You got the contract to 2028.
Stick to it.
I think if somebody comes in with a bigger deal, because the reality is Nike are running a business.
Yeah.
And Nike want to work with Laporta and Barcelona, right? Otherwise, there's no point. But you want to be in good terms. Somebody comes in, they pay a penalty, they get out of it. Somebody offers you enough money, there is a way out of it. But this seemed to me like a really dumb battle to fight on Laporta's part.